Hello everyone, it's that Tassie Wargamer here. Different video tonight. You've probably seen what I'm about to show you in bits and pieces, but this is the first time that I have got together my multiple armies that I use for infamy. So, well, these Romans are the late Republican Romans, and obviously my other forces can be used with either late Republican or early Imperial Romans. So let's pop down. Sorry if there's get a little bit of flash. I've tried to set up a light to give it a lot of coverage here. Starting off with an officer on horseback. Most of these miniatures are by Warlord Games. The only ones I'll point out that aren't by Warlord are by Victrix, and I'll point those out. Going to the back here, I've got a Centurion, Signifer, Musician, and another obviously heroic looking officer. I actually can't remember what these are now. They were named characters from history. I'll look it up, and I'll put it down in the description. From there I have got my units of 8. Some of the shields, if you notice, are a little bit different colour. Some of them, these ones here, if you might have noticed in a previous video, I used a matte spray that went a little bit cloudy, and while it looks odd against those that haven't gone cloudy, it's actually not a bad look, and it's probably the light is actually making it look a little bit worse than what it is. So with each of these units, so I've got at the moment 5 units of 8, and another one of 4, and I was going to have to buy more, and I have realised that I've just found out that the War Games Illustrated 401, I think it is going to have 4 on the cover to give away, which is going to complement them nicely. I do have some leaders with them, level 1 leaders with them. So I put them on round bases just to clearly indicate, really they're just, most of them are the same, just same miniatures, just different bases. Although this one here has got a different head. I'm pretty sure that was a Victrix head from the Spanish cavalry, and it was a good looking head, very sort of Roman helmet. Well, actually the Romans took the helmets from the Iberians, so but made it look a little bit different. So they're the main force. Over here I have some Numidian Skirmishes, hand-painted shields. I was going to get the transfers, and I'll give it a go myself, and I think it's come up all right. Numidian Cavalry. On the other side, my Slingers from Majorca or Minorca. Some Roman cavalry, and back in the late Republic these weren't as good as their allies, which is why I've also taken my Iberian Cavalry. Shields come up pretty good with those. They're all hand painted, and I really like the way they've come up. You might have saw in an earlier video I was saying that even though they weren't Spanish back then, I painted them in the Spanish colours of yellow and red, and made them a little bit more upper class by giving them a little bit more trim, as if they were sort of well, if you owned a horse, you weren't poor, were you? And I just realised I haven't based this one, so this will be based soon. But this is my Scorpion at the back. So all looking good, and I've realised I've just missed a whole unit. So I'm going to put you on hold, and I'll show you them too, and I'll add them to the table. And there we go, that's better. What I have added is the 2 units just over here. Let's drop down and have a look at them. I'll put them in front of my Iberian Cavalry because they are 2 units of Iberian Cavalry. Now, some of these unit numbers might not be right. I think some of them may be 6, whereas I've got 8 on the table. That's purely because they came in packs of 8. And I wasn't going to leave any behind, so I painted them all up and put them all on the table, or all on this table, but obviously not getting them all to the game. The Iberian Cavalry I think are going to be quite good. Previously I've gone with the Numidian Skirmishes, but they can be a little bit lightweight. But these guys, I think from memory, are better armoured, and they can also do for infantry. I think mixed drill from memory, but don't quote me on that. So I think I've probably got just about everything, although I wouldn't mind some Roman archers. The only reason is because even though I've got one group of missile troops, and obviously all my soldiers have their pila. The good thing about the Roman archers is they can fire over the head of friendly units as long as they're not in close combat. So I'm thinking I will probably buy some, but Warlord don't do them, so I'll probably be looking at Foundry down the track. So they're my Romans. I'm just going to switch over, and in a second you'll see my, I'll call them Barbarians for good reason, which I'll give explanation for. Hang on. And here is my Barbarian force. All the miniatures here are from Warlord Games. Now, if you look at Warlord and a lot of the other manufacturers, they sell ranges of Germanic, Gauls and Britons. What got me thinking that I was just going to use the one set of miniatures for all three with small modifications is that if you look at Warlord, they're Britons, Gauls and Germans basically are the same packs of plastic with a few small metal modifications, and when they're massed on the table I don't think we're really going to be able to tell the difference anyway. So what do we have here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups of 10, not grouped in any particular order. Some are plastic, some are resin, some are metal. If they're plastic or resin, I generally put a washer on the base, so when you're filling them, you can still feel the difference, but they've got that extra weight. I think these ones here were the new resin figures. When I first looked at the Warlord resin, I thought, oh, wow, they've got a little bit flexible, almost like the old Airfix type miniatures, but they really do have a lot of detail, and I really don't think they're going to break very, very easily. I've gone for more brighter colours sometimes rather than just all what you'd imagine would be brown, because they did use dyes. Some of these dyes might not be historically accurate, but I wanted them to look a little bit colourful on the table. This one here, as I've bought groups, in each group there would be a few armoured figures. So now I have managed to get 10, although the guy at the back only has the helmet. And this unit will be using its Oath Sworn for the Germans. I think there is something similar for the Gauls and Britons, although I haven't really looked at them yet because we've only played Germans. These guys have got skins on them. Well, most of them there have got the animal skins. Over here is the, what are they called? Skyclad. So naked frothers, I think Lardy Rich calls them. They can be a pretty good impact troop especially when they ambush. They can ambush from this is in sharp practice. Infantry. They can ambush from deployment point, or they can deploy from another unit. Over here, I've got these are Warlords Gaelic Slingers. And I've gone for some of the Gallic sort of looks. I've done some stripes on pants, and maybe slightly more brighter colours possibly. And at the back here are their Germanic woodland archers. These guys are okay if you use them as Germans. They do need to stay in woods, otherwise they start getting a point of shock in the game. So to add to each army, I've gone and bought some Gallic Leaders. This was the Gallic Leader pack. naked ones again. And these are my Germanic leaders, so I've got enough there to have enough leaders, plus a few. The dogs, slightly glossy. I think that was when I was spraying with something other than testers, and so far I can't find anything that actually beats testers. And same again with this one. I've looked over my shoulder and just realised I have left my German cavalry off. So I'm just going to, you'll just get a brief break and you'll come back and you'll see the cavalry on the table too. And here we are. There's another, I forgot there was another Gallic leader in with my my cavalry, German cavalry. Sorry, that was a German leader, I should say. These had to go into a different box because their spears are so upright that they actually don't fit into my infantry box. So I have to put them into another one. And as a result, I forgot to put them on the table. So I may in the future get another group of Romans that I can use as Federati cavalry, and also I can also use some of my Romans if I'm not getting them all to the table, which I probably won't. I can use some of my Romans as Federati. Likewise, I can use some of these if we're not getting them all to the table. I could use a unit of these for Barbarian or Gallic allies as well. So John and I are currently playing Chain of Command, not currently now, but currently at the moment we're playing Chain of Command every weekend. But pretty soon we will be getting back to Infamy, as well as Men Who Would Be King, and Sharp Practice, and Dead Man's Hand, and possibly Wings of Glories. But at some point we'll be getting back to Infamy. That's all for my miniatures. Hope you've enjoyed them. Thanks for watching.